Welcome friends. In this section we are going to discuss about the lakshana doshas. In the previous lesson also we discussed about lakshana doshas, but in this section we are going into the details of lakshana doshas. There are three types of lakshana doshas or fallacies of a definition: Avyapti, Atipyapti and Asambhava. Avyapti, Atipyapti and Asambhava. A true definition is called nirdushta lakshana and a false definition is called dushta lakshana. Nirdushta lakshana is a true definition, dushta lakshana is a false definition. The entity that is to be defined is called lakshya, and all entities other than lakshya is called alashya. The function of a definition or a lakshan is to differentiate lakshya and alashya. So, definition or lakshana is a statement that states the characteristic features of lakshya that differentiate lakshya and alashya. That characteristic features are called asadharana dharma. So, definition is a statement that states the characteristic features or asadharana dharma of lakshya that differentiate lakshya and the definition should have three essential features. They are: the character stated by the definition must be present in the lakshya, means the lakshya have the characteristic feature, lakshya must have the feature stated by the definition. Lakshya must have the features stated by the definition. Second, all the members of lakshya must have the features stated by the definition. Third one, the alashya must not have the feature stated by the definition. These are the three essential features of a definition. We can club these two features together and we can say that all the members of lakshya must have the characteristic feature stated by the definition. So, a definition must have two essential features. One, all the members of lakshya must have the character stated by the definition. Second one, no member of alashya must have that feature stated by the definition. Means all the members of lakshya must have the feature stated by the definition, and a member of alashya must not have that characteristic feature. Such a definition is called nirdushta lakshana or dushta lakshana. If a definition that violates these rules is called a dushta lakshana or a false definition. Now, we are going to illustrate these three kinds of fallacies with the help of a simple example. Suppose atom is our lakshya. Atom is our lakshya. Then subatomic particles, molecules, article, any article, pen, pencil, etc. All these are alashya. If we define the atom, that definition must have a feature that should be present in all the atoms. Means all the atom must have that feature stated by my definition. Second, no member of alashya must not have that feature. Suppose I am going to define atom as they are indivisible particles. Indivisible particles. This definition is not true because all of you know that atom is divisible. So the atom does not have this character stated in the definition. Clear? If I define atom as they are indivisible particle, that definition is not true because the atom does not have that feature. Such a fallacy or such a lakshana dosha is called asambhava. When the character stated by when the members of the lakshya do not have the character stated by a definition, then that fallacy is called asambhava. I will repeat. When the members of the lakshya do not have the feature stated by a definition, that fallacy is known as asambhava. If I define atom as smallest particle this is also not a true definition because they are not the smallest particles. It can be bombarded into subatomic particles. So it can be divided. So this definition is not true because the subatomic particles, they are the smallest particles. They are smaller than atoms. So atoms are not the smallest particles. So this definition is also not true. But if I add a clause without the liberation of charged particles, this is true. This is a true definition. They are not the smallest particle. Molecules can be divided. Atoms also can be divided. So this is not true when I add this clause without liberating the charged particles, then this definition becomes true. But you should remember one thing. This is a complex sentence having two clauses mentioning various features. One feature is the smallest particle. Second, it can be divided. Third one, without the liberation of charged particles. Three features are mentioned in these complex sentences. For logical purposes, these complex sentences having various clauses should be taken as a single characteristic feature, because all these features must be clubbed together, must be taken together as a single characteristic feature of atom. So, to make the sometimes to make the definition more precise, more refined, we add some clauses, mostly inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria, making the definition into a lengthy complex sentence. But for the purpose of defining, for the purpose of identifying the characteristic feature, one should take all these characters together as a single characteristic feature. So, this is a true definition. If I say atom is divisible particles, it is a true statement, but it is not a true definition, because molecules are also divisible. Then various compound substances, they are also divisible. So, this definition is not true. All the atoms are divisible, but some members of alashya is also divisible. So, this indivisibility, all the lakshya has divisibility, also some alashyas also have divisibility. So, this is not a true definition. To be a true definition, only all the members of lakshya must have that character. Here, all the members of lakshya have that character, but some of the members of alashya also have that character. So, this definition is not true. Such a fallacy is called Atipyapti. Atipyapti. In Asambhava, the members of lakshya do not have that character, do not have that feature stated by the definition. In Atipyapti, all the members of lakshya have that feature mentioned by the definition, but some of the alashya also have that feature. So, it is not a true definition. Such a fallacy is called Atipyapti. This is a true statement, this is a true definition, because it is true that atom is the smallest unit of an element. If I add a clause that having nucleus, this is also true. This is also true. All the atoms have nucleus. Now, if I add one more clause with protons and neutrons, a complex sentence having various characters, smallest unit has a nucleus, then the nucleus have proton and neutrons, so many multiple features are there. For the purpose of defining, we should take all these features as a single feature, single characteristic feature. This is partially true, because in our lakshya is atom. This lakshya include hydrogen atom from the element at the atomic number 118. Six kinds of 118 types of atom comes under our lakshya. Each type there are innumerable number of atoms. All these atoms also comes under our lakshya. It is true that all the atoms, all the 118 types of atoms are the smallest unit of their elements. It is true that all of them have nucleus, but all of them have nucleus, but some of them have no neutron in their nucleus. An exception is there. The isotope of hydrogen, protium. So the rule says that to be a true definition, all the members of lakshya must have that feature stated by the definition. In this case, protium do not have that feature. So this is not a true definition. Such a fallacy is called avyapti. To be a true definition, all the members of lakshya must have that feature. But in this case, only some members have that feature. Such a fallacy is called avyapti. If all the members of the lakshya do not have the feature stated by the definition, that fallacy is called avyapti. There are two fundamental rules to be a true definition. One, all the members of lakshya must have the feature stated by the definition. Second one, that feature, no member of alashya must have that feature. One, all the members of lakshya must have that feature. Second, any member of alashya must not have that feature. If you violate the first rule, all the members of lakshya must have that feature, its violation leads to two kinds of fallacies. One is Asambhava and another is Avyapti. The rule is no member of alashya must have that feature. If you violate that rule, it leads to Atipyapti. If all the members of lakshya do not have the feature stated by the lakshana, it is called as Asambhava. Some members of lakshya have that feature, but some members of the lakshya do not have that features, then it is called Avyapti. All the members of the lakshya have that feature, but some of the members of alashya also have that feature, then it is called Atipyapti. These are the three kinds of lakshana dosha: Avyapti, Atipyapti and Asambhava. These are the three kinds of lakshana doshas: Avyapti, Atipyapti and Asambhava. Now we are going to discuss about the examples illustrated in the basic textbooks of philosophy and your Padarthvigyan. Cow is the lakshya. Cow is the lakshya. All others are alashya. If somebody define cow as browny animal. Cow is a browny animal. It is not a true definition because white cows are there, brown cows are there, black, polka dotted and variegated. So many colors of cows are there: white cows, black cows, brown cows, polka dotted cows and variegated cows. All these are the members of the lakshya. This definition refer only to this member. So all the members of our lakshya do not have this character stated in this definition. This is not a true definition. In this case, all the members of the lakshya do not have the feature stated in the lakshana. Such a fallacy is called Avyapti. If all the members of lakshya do not have the feature stated by the definition, then it is called Avyapti. Lakshya lakshya ekadesha vrittitvam avyapti. Lakshya ekadesha vrittitvam, lakshyaikadesha vrittitvam avyapti, kapilatvam gotvam. Kapilaha means brown color. The Sanskrit term for brown color is kapila. Kapilatvam gotvam, cow is a browny animal. In this case, the character stated by the definition is present only in ekadesha. Ekadesha means the word meaning is some places. In this case, in some members. When the feature stated by the definition is present only on some members of the lakshya, it is called avyapti. The students should remember this sutra. Lakshya ekadesha vrittitvam avyapti kapilatvam gotvam. Cow is a browny animal. This definition is not true because the brown color, only some members of the lakshya have that brown color. All the lakshya do not have that color. So this is a wrong definition. This is a false definition. It is a dushta lakshan. Dushta because the character stated by the definition is not present in all the members of our lakshya. Lakshya vrittitve sati alashya vrittitvam Atipyapti. Lakshya vrittitve sati alashya vrittitvam Atipyapti. Shringitvam gotvam. Cow is a horny animal. This is not a true definition. Of course, cow has horns. All types of cow have horn, but there are so many animals which comes under alashya also have horn. Buffalo, ox, deer, all these animals have horns. In this case, the feature mentioned by the definition is present in all the members of lakshya, but that feature is also present in some of the members of alashya. Means all the members of lakshya have that feature, some of the members of alashya also have that feature. Such a fallacy is called Atipyapti. This feature is present in lakshya and also present in alashya. Lakshya vrittitve sati alashya vrittitvam. Means if the feature stated by the definition is present in the lakshya and in alashya also, then such kind of fallacy is called Avyapti. In Avyapti, all the members of lakshya do not have the feature stated by the definition. In Atipyapti, all the members of lakshya have that feature, but some of the members of alashya also have that feature. It is called Atipyapti. Cow has hooves. There are two kinds of hooves, paired and unpaired. The cow has paired hooves. Cow have paired hooves, but some other animals have unpaired hooves. If somebody define cow as cow is an unpaired hoof animal, this is not true, because this feature is not present in cow. Cow has paired hoofs. The definition says that it's an unpaired hoof. No cow have unpaired hoof. All the cows have paired hoofs. So the character mentioned by the definition is not present in our lakshya. The lakshya do not have the character stated by the definition. No member of lakshya have the character stated by the definition. Such a fallacy is called Asambhava. When no member of the lakshya have the character stated by the definition, it is called Asambhava. In this case, the members of lakshya do not have the character stated by the definition. Such a condition is called Asambhava. In Avyapti, some members of the lakshya have the character stated by the definition. In Atipyapti, all the members of lakshya have that character along with some members of the alashya. In Asambhava, no member of lakshya have that character stated by the definition. So there are three kinds of lakshana doshas: Avyapti, Atipyapti and Asambhava. A definition devoid of all these three kinds of lakshana doshas is called a true definition or a nirdushta lakshana. The BMS student should remember these examples. The cow is a brown colored animal, the cow is a horny animal, cow is a unhoofed animal. These are the examples illustrated in your textbooks. So use these examples during your examinations. I think you got the idea what is meant by a lakshana dosha, what is meant by a dushta lakshana, what is meant by a nirdushta lakshana, the types of lakshana doshas, Avyapti, Atipyapti and Asambhava. If you have any doubt, any questions, any query, any comments, please post in the comments section. Thank you. Goodbye.